Hey everybody, Harris Smith. We're going to look at another German poem today. Poetry, we got to think numbers, so want to think about how many syllables per line, look at the rhyme scheme, all that sort of stuff. The poet we're reading today, his name is Rainer Maria Rilke. Rainer Maria Rilke. Yeah, his name is Rainer AI sounds like EI. Rainer Maria Rilke. And yeah, his middle name is Maria. We'll talk about that. It's a thing. It happens. Relax. The poem is called Der Panther, the panther, animal in a zoo. As always, we want to think about not only eyes but ears when we hear poetry. Hear it and read it. So the hearing part. Listen to some of the sounds. Interesting little combinations like Ihm ist, als ob es tausend Stäbe gäbe. All right, nice little internal rhyme. You're going to hear that. Der weiche Gang, geschmeidig starker Schritte. So we got the sh sounds going there. We'll get into this and take a look at it. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and we'll take a look right now. All right, we have here a real famous poem called Der Panther, the Panther. Uh, the subtitle, if you notice, it's italicized. That's not German. All right. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it's French. You see the Jardin, that's garden. So the poet is looking at a panther that's in a garden. It's in a cage in a large public garden. Basically, for lack of a better word, we'd call it a zoo. So, poet is looking at a panther in a zoo. Panther in a cage in a zoo. Poet's name, Rainer Maria Rilke. Okay, Rainer. Remember, AI makes the same sound as EI. Rainer. Maria, yeah, he's a boy. Maria is his middle name. Back in the day, a century or two, it was not that unusual for boys to have Maria as a middle name, sometimes even a first name. It was just a thing. Fashions change, trends change. It was more common in countries or cultures that were predominantly Roman Catholic, the whole naming a boy Maria thing. Um, Here's the dude himself. 1875, 1926, short lifespan. He was a mere youngster, died at the age of 51. Um, he grew up, was kind of a restless soul, but got married, had one child. His lifestyle was a little bit unusual. He traveled all the time. He just couldn't stay in one place. He had this restlessness and had to move. So I think his wife must have been very patient because he was always packing his suitcase and taking off on a trip somewhere and spent more time traveling than he actually spent at home. He was born in Prague in the Czech Republic. Okay, back when he was born there, it was actually part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The city of Prague was the whole area of Czechoslovakia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire when he was born. But as we said, he moved around a lot, kind of just traveled a lot. Ended up at the end of his life, he died living in a town in Switzerland. So let's take a look at this poem about the panther in a cage. Sein Blick, his gaze. Whose gaze? The panther's gaze. So the panther is in this cage and he's gazing. Sein Blick, his gaze, ist geworden. His gaze has become. What has it become? Müde. The poet shortened the müde to müde. Put the apostrophe in there to get a syllable count, but his gaze has become tired. So müde, so tired. It has become tired vom Vorübergehen der Stäbe, from the going over of the bars of his cage. Vorübergehen is a verb, to go past, to go across, to go over, but we've capitalized it. It's become a noun here. Vorübergehen der Stäbe, from the passing of the bars. Dass nichts mehr hält, that it being the gaze, it holds nothing any longer. So his gaze is kind of empty. It doesn't express anything. It doesn't fix on any object. His gaze is tired, and it doesn't hold on to anything anymore. Ihm ist, to him it is, als ob es 1,000 Stäbe gäbe. It is to him as if there were 1,000 bars. Gebe, subjunctive, counterfactual of geben, gibt, gebe. All right, so this animal is caged. It's a powerful outdoor animal meant to run long distances, and now it lives in a metal cage, and its eyes just stare at these bars all day, and it seems like there's 1,000 bars. Und hinter 1,000 Stäben keine Welt. As if there were 1,000 bars, and behind the 1,000 bars there were no world. So the animal's mind has kind of become a blank. Der weiche Gang, geschmiedig starker Schritte. Der weiche Gang, the soft trotting, the soft gait, the soft movement. Geschmiedig starker Schritte, of supply strong steps, of gently powerful steps, something like this, geschmeidig. Geschmeidig starker Schritte, genitive, the trotting of the powerful, the supply powerful steps, genitive there. All right, comma, der, relative clause, the steps, okay, the trotting which, comma, der sich, the trotting which, sich im allerkleinsten Kreise dreht, which turns, rotates, im allerkleinsten Kreise, in a very small circle, in the smallest of all circles. So you've got a panther in a cage, and really all it can do is walk in a circle around a very small middle point, small radius. Ist wie ein Tanz von Kraft eine Mitte. It is like a dance of power around a midpoint, around a center point, in der betäubt ein großer Wille steht, in which sedated, betäubt, a powerful will, a big will, a great will stands. So it's a great animal, it's a powerful animal, ein großer Wille, but it's betäubt, it's sedated, it's numbed. Nur manchmal schiebt der Vorhang der Pupille sich lautlos auf. Only sometimes schiebt der Vorhang auf. Vorhang is a curtain. Aufschieben, to raise, to move upward. So it's like there's a curtain in the pupil of the panther's eyes. You know, this sort of zombie-like state. Only once in a while, the curtain raises silently, lautlos. The curtain raises itself, sich, a reflexive. So this Vorhang, this curtain, schiebt sich lautlos auf. So every once in a while, if you look in the eyes of this panther, they're kind of dull, they're not really looking at anything, but once in a while you can see the eyes focus on some object. Dann geht ein Bild hinein. Then an image goes in. Okay, so it's like for just a second the panther becomes fully alert, fully conscious, fully aware. Geht durch der Glieder angespannte Stille. Okay, this image goes into the pupil. It goes through the Glieder, through the body parts. Okay, Stille, the silence. Angespannt, the tense silence of the body parts. Der Glieder is genitive plural. Okay, so this image goes in and goes through the tense silence of the body parts. Und hört im Herzen auf zu sein. Hört auf, to cease, to stop, right? The verb hören is normally to hear, but hören plus auf means to cease or stop, and stops being, it stops existing. Okay, what stops existing? It's the image. The image stops existing in the heart. So every once in a while, the panther becomes alert enough to actually take in some kind of image, and it kind of flies through his mind for half a second, but then fades away into nothingness in the heart of the panther. All right, so goes the poem. So Rilke puts together this poem, powerful poem. Fun fact: it was actually used in a Hollywood movie. An English translation of the poem was used in a Hollywood movie. The name of the movie was Awakenings, and it was pretty big box office hit 10, 20 years ago. Look it up on Netflix or YouTube or someplace. Awakenings is the movie that featured this poem. Again, the sound is reflective of the mood. We have this animal that's a wild beast, powerful, capable of leaping and running and biting, and yet it somehow has been sort of turned into a sedated zombie state. And so those sounds again, der weiche Gang, geschmeidig, starker Schritte, um, kind of reflecting what's going on there. And yeah, the middle name is Maria. That actually is still the case for thousands of men in places like Austria, Hungary, Romania, parts of it, the Czech Republic, Slovakia. It was a habit to give men the middle name Maria. So there you go. Rainer Maria Rilke, famous poem, and now you can consider yourself really intellectual and all educated. See you later. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.